Hey, Texas Jeep Dad here. I wanted to do a follow-up video on my Rusty's Advanced 4-inch kit for the Jeep Gladiator. I put my kit on about 3 months ago, so I just want to give a little review on what I think of the kit, what I also needed with the kit, what you might need, and how it looks. So without further ado, let's see how it looks. Okay, there's my Jeep Gladiator on 37 by 13 and a half. That's the 4-inch Rusty's Advanced kit. When you order the kit, you get lots of options. I went with the flex joint option that's rebuildable, and I did a little video on how to rebuild the joint if you go that route. Now, if you do get the flex joints versus a rubber joint, it's gonna be non-loaded, so you're gonna have to load that before you put it on. Something I learned along the way. Also, you have a choice of shocks, and I went with their RX 800s for my particular installation. Overall, I love the kit. Zero issues once I got it dialed in, and that was 100% on the installer that I chose versus the kit. And actually, Rusty's was super helpful along the way for me to get my kit dialed in, answered my questions. I ended up doing it myself, so I probably should have gone that route in the beginning. Probably the hardest part of putting this kit in is you're gonna need some kind of a spring compressor, because those damn things are big and long. Other than that, I've been able to drop the control arms as it sits, work on them, adjust them, put them back up, and so forth. Things I did not know when I purchased the kit that I also ended up buying along the way. Let's go check that out. First thing I would recommend doing is invest in some extended brake lines. I added extended brake lines. You can see in the red, not the prettiest, because of the flex. When this thing flex, it's going to get rowdy and potentially could break that brake line. Additionally, up here, your rear sway bar end link where it mounts to the frame, the bolt that was actually inside here from the factory was too short, so I needed to source some little bit longer bolts. That wasn't an issue, no big deal. Not required, but highly recommended, drive shaft. When you get the Rusty's kit, especially this cross member right here, you're gonna hit your drive shaft, the OEM, anytime you wheel, especially if you disconnect. I ended up ripping the boot on the old one and replaced it, but I kept hitting it and it was just gonna keep happening. So I went with an aftermarket drive shaft. Not required, but highly recommended. Other than that, recommended, don't get a tire smaller than a 37. Make sure you get a nice big fat chunky tire on there so it looks real good. Here's my -12 offset, and again I raised about 7 inches all the way around the vehicle. The kit's performed well. I've disconnected this front sway bar end links and wheeled it off-road, and it performed great. No issues. I haven't bent anything, broke anything. Everything has been doing very well. So overall, I like the kit. I don't have any issues with the kit. Probably the only thing I didn't think about is that extra height, because it's every bit of 4 inches, maybe even a little bigger. You have to get other things dialed in. So with this kit, not required, but recommended, I would probably replace tie rod, drag link, because these two OEM components were not made for these big ass meets. So you will have a little bit, you'll feel the road in your steering and so forth a little bit, not much, but it's not going to be 100% like stock with this. But once you get it dialed in with some heavier duty suspension components, then you're back pretty much like stock. Rides very smooth. I'm running mine at 28 psi in the rear, 29 psi up front. Again, this is the Rusty's Advanced Kit, 4-inch with adjustable control arms on the RX 800s, sitting on 37 13.5s. I appreciate you watching the video. I'll try to come out with something more interesting soon. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.